My name is Sharissa Carnell, and I'm a blood clot survivor. In February of 2012, I wasn't feeling well. So I went to the doctor and I was diagnosed with an upper respiratory infection. I was given a round of antibiotics and sent home. A few days later, I still wasn't feeling well and I started feeling a really sharp pain in my side. So I decided to try a different doctor as a second opinion to see what he said. He conducted a chest x-ray and told me that I still had the upper respiratory infection and that the pain in my side was from pleurisy, which is just inflammation in the tissue around my lung. So he put me on a second round of antibiotics and sent me home. The pain increased by a million. I was in so much pain I couldn't lay down. I was literally sleeping, sitting straight up. I couldn't cough, I couldn't laugh, I could barely breathe. Any movement was so much pain, I can't even describe how bad it hurt. To the point that I told my husband that I needed to go to the emergency room. So my husband took me to the ER, and after a second chest x-ray, I was told that I definitely had pleurisy and that I was gonna have to just wait until it went away. And not the words you want to hear when you're in a lot of pain. And so the doctor in the ER prescribed me some pain medicine and sent me back home. A few days later, I still wasn't feeling right, and something in me said that I needed to try a different doctor, that there still was something not right. So I went to a pulmonary doctor, and after a third chest x-ray, the pulmonary doctor told me that I might have a blood clot in my lung. And I was shocked to hear this. I was not expecting a blood clot. As far as I knew, there were no blood clots in my family history. And I didn't know anything about blood clots. So after a few days of tests, a CT scan confirmed that I had a significant sized blood clot in my lung, a pulmonary embolism. So I was immediately admitted into the hospital and spent 4 days in the hospital, where I was put on Coumadin and Lovenox, 2 blood thinners. And after 4 days, I was sent home. I was terrified. I didn't know much about blood clots, and the only risk factor I had for blood clots at the time was that I was on birth control pills. And this shocked me even more because I felt like millions and millions of women around the country are on birth control pills every day, and I had never heard personally of anyone having a blood clot from birth control. So I went home from the hospital and I sat in my kitchen and I started Googling about blood clots, and specifically blood clots from birth control pills. And the first website that showed up on Google was stoptheclot.org. So I clicked the site, not knowing what it was or anything about it, and not realizing how much this website was about to change my life. I sat there and I started reading the patient stories on stoptheclot.org and reading about other women who had gone through pulmonary embolisms, blood clots in their leg, or DVTs, and I read their stories and I just sat there and cried. For the first time, I felt connected to someone else who had been through what I was going through. And I cried for those who had lost a loved one from a blood clot. And I cried with joy for those who lived through their blood clot and survived their blood clot just as I had. Women, young girls, please talk to your doctor about this first. Please ask all your family members if there's any family history of blood clotting. You need to know that birth control pills are a risk factor for blood clotting. And it's not just a small medical risk or a health risk or a side effect. This is something that could cost you your life, and it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Please talk to your doctors. I'm proud to be a volunteer for the National Blood Clot Alliance. I'm proud to share my story with all of you. I hope it encourages you to go to stoptheclot.org and read about the signs and symptoms and all the risk factors. With your help, we can stop the clot. We can stop a clot in you or in someone that you love. We don't have to lose another valuable life because of a blood clot. I am so thankful to the National Blood Clot Alliance and StopTheClot.org. Finding this website and finding other people out there that have been through what I went through has been huge for me. My family has stood by my side from the beginning. My husband on one side, my parents on the other, and I've been surrounded by love from friends and family and my church family and prayers and just so much support. And it's been wonderful, and I'm so thankful and so blessed to have those people in my life. But it's a different kind of support when you find a group like the National Blood Clot Alliance. And I just want to say thank you to Alan Brownstein, all of the board members, everyone at the National Blood Clot Alliance for everything that you're doing to help raise awareness. Since my blood clot, I have completed 2 5Ks. It has encouraged me to be even more active. It's a lifestyle that not only do I need to lead for myself, but I need to set an example for my future family one day when I have children of my own, to set an example for them that being active is being healthy. And that's one thing that I can do to try and combat blood clots in myself, in my own body, and in my family as well. So if you want more information about blood clots, DVTs, and pulmonary emboli, go to StopTheClot.org. If you want to donate, you can do that on my First Giving page, and you will see the link here on the screen. Thank you for listening to my story, and thank you for helping us stop the clot.